Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, I'm really excited about today's car. This is a bit sad to be honest, but by now you'll know that I'm a sad man with a very sad taste in cars. I've bought a Jaguar X-Type estate, but this isn't any old X-Type estate. This is a 3-litre all-wheel drive automatic Sovereign spec. Speaking of Sovereign, our former Sovereign, Her late Majesty the Queen, used to drive one of these cars. You'd often see her driving it herself around Windsor Great Park. I always thought it looked cool. Anyway, it's the same as that. And I thought if it's good enough for royalty, then it's got to be good enough for me. I got an email the other day from a viewer down in Oxfordshire asking if I wanted to buy the car. When I saw what it was, I jumped at it. Sadly, I didn't have time to go and collect it myself. I had to send a transporter down there on my behalf, which of course means I haven't actually seen it yet. So I thought today you could join me on this exciting little voyage. I should point out at this point that I've only paid £1,000 for it, and I honestly don't know whether that's dear or not. What I was thinking of doing with this car was keeping it and getting rid of my old Volvo XC70 that's nearly done 300,000 miles. After all, this one's a better spec, it's automatic, which I prefer, and it's done 200,000 miles less than the old Volvo. Right, let's go and have a look, shall we? Well, here she is. It's gold, which wouldn't be my first choice of colour, to be honest. I'd have preferred it in grey or something like that, or blue, but it does sort of add to it. Quite a classy car, that. Weirdly, it's got privacy glass in the very rear, but not on the rear doors. That's strange. I'm quite excited about this. The bodywork so far looks pretty good. The wheels need refurbishing, but the seller told me that already, to be fair. And the brake discs look a little bit rusty from here. It's in pretty good condition, that, for an 06. Oh, we've got a wooden steering wheel. I'm such a loser, honestly. Right, let's do a quick vehicle history check. So as always, I'm going to go to carvertical.com, type in the vehicle reg, which in this case is Kilo Tango 06 Victor Juliet Kilo. Check vehicle. This is currently checking millions of cars across dozens of countries' databases, so it'll tell us whether it's ever been stolen, written off, had a mileage rollback, or has outstanding finance on it. It isn't expensive and it can stop you buying a car with a hidden past, and it's cheaper still if you use my promo code. So I'll leave the link below in the video description, so if you click that and use the promo code HIGHPEAK, you'll get 10% off each and every vehicle check that you do. Right, and as quick as that, the report's back. So it's never been stolen, never been involved in any accidents, the mileage is genuine, and there's no outstanding finance. So we're clear on all 4 fronts. It had its first MOT in 2009, where it passed with no advisory items, then it failed its MOT in 2011. Right, okay, it's had a private plate. LG 55 leg. The ownership changed in 2014. Okay. Oh, it failed quite dramatically here in 2017. Let's go down to its current MOT then. So its last MOT was done in June last year, and it had a few advisory items. So front brake pipe corroded, near side rear anti-roll bar joint has slight play, rear suspension arm pin or bush worn, under trays fitted, vehicle structure is corroded, but structural rigidity is not significantly reduced, all underside. Okay. Engine trims fitted, and offside rear anti-roll bar joint has slight play. Okay, nothing too serious there then. It's checked all the databases, it's never been stolen. So, at the last MOT it had done 105,000 miles. 102 the year before that, 99 before that, so it's nice and steady. The approximate market value of this when the seller's a company is £19.80. So, for £1,000 I think I've done alright. It's an all-wheel drive 3-litre naturally aspirated V6. Very good. And we've got a checklist here of things to watch out for. So on the diesel model, for example, the fuel pump can fail, the dual mass flywheel can fail. That's why I don't like diesels, to be fair. But this 3-litre chain-driven V6 is a bit of a peach. It's the same 3-litre V6 they used in the Mondeo ST220. Right, let's go and have a look. Okay then, what have we got here? Nice day for it today as well. So it's gold. It's a bit of an old man colour, isn't it? And the wheels are quite badly curbed, but we've got a P0 near on the back on about 6 mil of tread. The brake discs do look ropey though, so I might have to put a new set of discs on. Also, I'll order some new wheel centres. They let it down. A little bit of rust around the wheel arches, but nothing too serious. And down the panels it's quite straight. Panel gaps all look alright. But yeah, I wonder why they only tinted the back part, the boot compartment, and not the rear doors. I wonder whether to remove the back tints or tint the rear doors. Not sure. Right, moving to the front, we've got another P0 Nero. Someone's put proper tyres on this then. That's also on about 6mm. And just like the back, I think it needs new discs and pads. Not the end of the world though. Someone's had a go at painting that themselves. You can see where they've tried to blend it in. It feels like someone's had an aerosol tin and done it on a Sunday. That one's doing properly really. I think I'll get that done. So this being a 3-litre V6 all-wheel drive Sovereign, it is a proper spec. So I've got headlamp washers, Xenons, a couple of stone chips here. So the plates are from Jaguar Performance and Prestige, Oxfordshire. I assume that's who's looked after the car then. Oh, looks pretty good, doesn't it? Slight scuff there, but most of that would buff out. Another Pirelli P0 there, on about 6mm, so that's all good. This is what you like to see on a car. Someone's put, should I say, proper tyres on it. And down this side, again, it's nice and straight. Moving to the back then, they always seem to rust there. That always blows out. Wow, someone's taken a big chunk out of that. And we've got a matching Pirelli. I've bought a decent car here, just based on the tyres alone. A little bit of corrosion there on the wheel arch, but nothing too serious. Moving around the back. I'll move around the... Oh, I don't like that. Someone's put a jumping Jag on it. It's had a tow bar fitted at some point. We've got rear parking sensors. The rear light's cracked there. I'll order one of those off eBay, I think. We've got matching plates, which is always a good sign. And look at that. Sovereign spec. I wonder if... Oh, it does as well. The glass part of the tailgate lifts up separately. Well, I'm quite impressed with this. We've got both sets of keys. And inside, look at this. It's like being sat in the library of a stately home. We've got piped leather, electric memory seats. This was some car in its day, wasn't it? We've got Alpine audio, powerful mirrors. I think this was about as good as it got. It smells very doggy. Must have been used as a dog car, this. It does stink of dog. They've got the little dog guard up there as well. There's something there that's stuck to the headlining. But the headlining isn't sagging, that's all in one piece. We've got an auto dimming rear mirror. This is, heated seats. Oh yes, I'm definitely keeping this. Right, let me get some life into it then and see what the mileage is. 107,000 miles, which isn't high, is it, for a, what year is this now? 17-year-old car. We've got automatic lights. Do all my windows work? 2, 3, 4. Didn't doubt it for a second. It's British, Anglo-American engineering. Right, service history then. This is what I like to see. Straight away, we've got, you can just see that someone's taken some pride in this. Everything's organised into folders and wallets, rather than just flung on the floor. So we've got the V5 there. We've got, by the looks of it, all the MOTs every year in its own little wallet with receipts. Look at that. So we can see what's been done every year. Just what I like to see. Oh, someone spent some money on this. Right, where's this service book then? We've got the radio code there as well from Jordal. Jordal? Apologies if I'm pronouncing that wrong. Oh, look at this. I've just seen we've run out of space in the service book. That is what you want to see. So it was serviced by Jaguar for the first 7 times. Then it went elsewhere, Gloucestershire. Then it's been to Jordal Limited in Oxford every single year. Look at that. And it's been serviced every 5,000 miles. It's due its next one. Oh no, we're in 2023 now, aren't we? So It was done 5,000 miles ago, but nearly 2 years ago, so I'll get a service done. So as long as the underside isn't rotten, which it could be on one of these, because they do rot on the sills, as long as it isn't too badly rotten, there's plenty of life left in this. This engine's chain driven, and with regular oil changes like that, it should last for years. We've got the nice old J-gate gear selector there. Has it ever been smoked in? Nope, look at that. Apart from the smell of dog then, I've got a very good car here. What was the previous owner listening to? Should I have a look? Radio 4, BBC Oxford, look at this. Billy Ocean, is it? We've got sat-nav too. Disc not installed, I can order one of those I suppose. And yeah, heated seats, look at that. Let's have a look under the bonnet then. Properly impressed with this. That's blown again there. What are you thinking then? Because I'm thinking straight away, replace my old Volvo. This is a bit more me. Just heard what I was saying. This is a bit more me, this gold estate. I think we need some new tailgate struts. They're on the last legs, I think. Oh yes. So we've got lots of little black hairs here. So they've had a dog. Excuse me. There's the Witter tow bar. Does need a good old clean, but it's a nice genuine car this. We've got a 12 volt socket down there. And, oh, nearly broke that. Disc changer, and I think that's the changer there for the sat-nav. Missing the parcel shelf. Right, I'll order one of those then. Perhaps that's why they've tinted the rear windows then. Perhaps that's the reason. Yeah, I do need some rear struts. Look at that, look. You know what, this is a perfect dog car. Not sure you'd get a German Shepherd in the back, but it's not a bad size. Looking forward to driving this. Is that sad or not? I think I know the answer. The lever, I think off memory, is it over here somewhere? Am I getting confused? Yes, I was getting confused. Look at that. So the coolant's the right colour. The top mounts aren't all rusty. Everything looks dead original. What a car. Even my screen wash is topped up. There you go, even the screen wash is topped up. I had this engine, well I've had these engines, look how clean that oil looks. I've had these engines multiple times in S-types over the years and they are a really good engine. Maybe I'll order some new struts for the bonnet as well. I think then it's time to give this old girl a drive. Right. I haven't actually had one of these before. I've wanted one for a long time. A Sovereign Estate all-wheel drive auto, 3 litre. ABS lights on? Oh no, it's gone out. Worrying unnecessarily there, wasn't I? Apart from the smell of dog, it's a really clean car, this. And that 3 litre, it's just a really good engine, that. Really smooth, creamy V6. What have we got? Oh, I thought we had garage door openers there, but we don't. So I've got no warning lights on at all. I've got half a tank of fuel. It's a little bit knocky over that bump. I think it needs some new suspension arms, some bottom arms or something, or bushes. Well, straight away I can tell you this is very smooth. There is a little bit to do. Suspension arms, or sort out that suspension at the front. Wheel refurbs. Maybe tint the rear windows or remove the far tint. Little bit of paint work. And I've got a very decent little car that I've got no purpose for, but I want anyway. Listen to that. I think I'll give the gearbox a service as well, just to prolong its life. This is very smooth, this. Electric seats work. Oh yes, can get used to this. I love a wooden steering wheel. I just think it's really classy, that. How do I adjust my lumbar support? I feel like somebody's kicking me in the back. Well, you can tell straight away with this that someone's loved it. It's got proper service history, both sets of keys, proper tyres. The rest I can sort out myself. I think that this is my new winter runaround, my new winter beater Jaguar. Right, I think then what I'm going to do first, I'll run it to my mechanics. I think I might get them to wax oil underside of it just to prevent that rust getting any worse. Get it up on the ramp and see what it's like. Give it a service. Replace those brake discs and pads because they look like they've seen better days. Sort out that suspension clunk. I think I'll probably spend $600 or £700 on this before I know it. Take it for a gearbox service. That'll cost me maybe $150, something like that. Get the wheels refurbished. There's another 200 odd quid. Sort out the rear privacy and then take it for a good detailed valet. Get rid of all the dog hair. They're going to love me over at Tameside Valeting, aren't they? I think I'll let off one of those odour bombs as well and get rid of the dog smell. And that's about it. Right then, guys, let me crack on with these jobs and I'll catch up with you in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks, it'll all be done. Right, I'll see you then.
I'm home. The clock is ticking at midnight.
I think you all know where this is going, don't you? On this occasion, I've so massively, comprehensively overspent. I should really go and see somebody, a therapist or a psychiatrist or something. It just isn't normal behaviour. Some 6 months have passed since we last spoke. I guess I just got a bit carried away with it. It's such a rare car and such a nice car. I just wanted to give it some TLC. It isn't often you find a 3-litre all-wheel drive Jag X type estate, so I don't know. I just wanted to save it. And now as I sit here talking to you with a passenger seat full of bills, I almost wish I hadn't. Anyway, at the time, I thought it deserved to be rescued. On the bright side at least, I have rescued it, and I think it looks really good. It looks nice and original now. It's just, it hasn't been what you'd call a cheap or easy process. It's really tested my patience, this, and my checkbook. After we last spoke back in April, I ran this down to my mechanics with a fairly simple job list. I asked them to give it a fresh MOT with no advisory items, a fresh service, and just a general check over. And also it had quite a loose front end. It was knocking every time you went over a bump. So I asked them to sort that out. The next day my mechanic got it up on the ramp and then realised it was as rotten as a pear underneath. It needed new sills, brake discs, pads, suspension arms, drop links, coil sprit, all sorts of stuff. So they got it off the ramp quickly and then parked it in the back of the yard and moved on to quick and easy jobs. Then it sat there for a good 3 months, 4 months maybe. And then eventually when they had the ramp free for about 3 days, they got it back up on the ramp and did all the work. In typical X-type fashion, the sills were, well, they were invisible. They were non-existent. So my mechanic had to cut out what was remaining and then weld in some brand new sills. They've done a really neat job actually. Then when that was done, they wax oiled the full underside of the car just to protect it going forward. I mean, in fairness, it is a 17-year-old car, so you expect a bit of rust, don't you? The list of work my mechanic's done to this car is very long and expensive. In fact, it'd probably be easier to list what they haven't done. When it was finally done there, I picked it up and I took it over to Prestige Wheels in Bredbury. If you remember, the wheels were quite badly curbed and scraped, so I had them stripped and powder coated and they now look as good as new. Somebody told me though on a recent Instagram post, these aren't the wheels for this car. I should know nerdy things like this, shouldn't I? But somebody told me they were off an XF. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they are on the large side. They're 18s, I think. And this car, I think, should have 16s or 17s. Still, I think it looks quite good. What else did I do? Oh, I replaced the boot struts, I replaced the wheel nuts, I bought a new parcel shelf and dog net off eBay, the old one was broken. Then I took it to the body shop. If you remember, the front wing had a do-it-yourself driveway Sunday morning special. It was quite flat at the finish of a chalkboard, so I had that repainted, and I've got a bit of a regret with that. I should have had them blow it into the door. I didn't, I just got them to do the wing. And now of course the door is 17 years old and the wing is fresh paint, so there's a bit of a difference in colour. Then when it was done there, I picked it up and I took it over to the lads at Tameside Valeting. I asked them for a full detail clean, and I also asked them to remove the privacy glass. It had window tints, but just on the back windows. I think it was just to protect the dog, really, they had in the boot. So they stripped those for me, and it now looks really, really honest and original. It just looks so much better without the window tints. Oh, then I got it back to work, fitted some new reg plates, which I did myself. I let off an odour bomb because it still had the whiff of dog. Odour hound it smelt of. And now, well, the smell's neutral. They work really well, those. In case you're wondering, they're called Air Vidocs and they're available on Amazon. They're about 20 quid. I always just buy them in bulk because they're really handy to keep. What else did I do? I think that's about it. But I've spent so much on this car, it's ridiculous. You won't believe... Well, shall we get onto that, shall we? Right, we've got pages and pages of bills here. So, the car cost me £1,000. The delivery or the transport costs, I can't remember, I think it was about £250. My bill at my mechanics, right, so remove damaged wheel nuts, new wiper blades, new battery, new oil filter, oil, 2 rear suspension arms, they were quite expensive, £145, 2 front drop links, front D-bushes, that was causing the knockiness on the front end, front brake discs, front brake pads, rear brake discs, rear brake pads, 2 outer sills, coil springs, drop links, Schultz or wax oil, MOT test fee, more coil springs, an offside front top mount. So my total bill there was, you ready for this? £2,409.02. I haven't actually done this job yet, but I have booked it in for a gearbox service. He's that busy at the moment that he couldn't fit me in until next Tuesday. But it is booked in. That's going to cost me £200. So I've factored that in. The valet and the removal of the window tints cost me £120. The wheels at Prestige cost me £288, which I think was a bargain. The parcel shelf cost me £100 delivered. The boot struts were £18.50. The number plates were £15. The paint for the front wing, well, to do the job, that was £250 plus VAT, so £300. So my grand total is £4,700.02. On the bright side, it's a really nice car, this now. I was umming and ahhing whether to keep it or not, and I've decided to sell it because I've got so many cars around me, and I rarely drive the ones I've got. So I've got this on the market for £4,995, which I don't dispute is a little bit dear for an 06 X-Type estate, but it has had everything done, as you've just witnessed. So who knows? I think for £5,000 it's an awful lot of car. It drives beautifully. I love the colour combination. I love the fact that it doesn't have any window tints now. I love the wooden steering wheel. I love the interior. I love the J-Gate gearbox. It's just a really pleasant car to drive and be in. So who knows, if I sell this for the asking price, then I will have made a whopping pre-tax profit of £295. Wow. But on the bright side, I keep saying on the bright side, I'm trying to stay optimistic here. I'm trying to keep my glass half full, even though somebody keeps trying to tip it over. On the bright side, I've rescued another Jaguar. And they don't make these cars anymore, do they? You literally can't buy one of these cars today if you wanted to. So I've saved another modern classic. Give myself a pat on the back, shall I? So guys and girls, I think that's about it. Thank you once again for watching. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't done already. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter and TikTok. I'll leave the link below. And yeah, I'll see you next time.